Hi, Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the July 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Taurus for sun and rising placements. Hi, Taurus. How are you? It's really hot here, so I'm just trying to stay cool in my apartment and get through these videos. I've had one of those days where I'm very depleted energetically. I'm going off no sleep. I'm doing my best. I feel pretty good considering how little sleep I got, but I'm just prefacing that so that if I'm a little all over the place, my dog also decided it's playtime right now and he's bringing me a toy. So we'll see if that's disruptive. But let's go ahead and get into July for you, Taurus dominant person. So we start out every July in Cancer season. And the area of the horoscope that hits for Taurus is the area that rules the third house. So the third house is the house that represents communication. So we have the sun in your house of communication. And we also have had Venus here and Mercury here. So all themes around how you communicate your feelings. Cancer is the water element, so it represents how we're connected to feelings, emotional spaces, vulnerability. Those types of things are coming up for you right now. Mercury is going to be moving out of Cancer on July 2nd and moving into Leo. And it's actually going to be entering the house that Cancer traditionally rules, but here in the Taurus horoscope, Leo is here, and it's the house that represents home and family. And so when Mercury is passing through the fourth house, our themes around home and family and how we communicate in our home space and with our family members are highlighted. Leo has a lot to do with having confidence and expressing yourself confidently in the ways that are important and valuable to you. So those are going to be themes that come up for you in July. Connecting with home and family is a big theme in July for you overall. The other thing that's happening for you is that Mars has been passing through Taurus, and that's hitting the area of the chart that represents your identity. So this is in the first house. Mars here, we could feel very intense energy around our relationship to self and our identity. Maybe we're going through something where we're reflecting a lot on our identity or how we want to assert our will or the things that we want. There could be kind of a lot of tension around how we're asserting ourselves right now. So those are things that you're kind of up against. And Mars is going to be here up until the 21st of July. So, Mars in the first house isn't necessarily a bad thing. It rules the first house. And so Mars here, we do feel like we want to go after what we want and direct our willpower the way that we want. But there's also kind of that, like, I want to control everything. And sometimes that can lead to problems if we can't control everything. There's certain things we can control, there's certain things we can't control. And so you might be in this place of trying to figure out what you can do about things that you're, not able to control. Like, how do you still move forward in ways that are okay and good. And, that can be kind of challenging at times because if we're feeling a lot of need or desire to assert our willpower onto people, or not onto people, but just in our lives, it can leak out onto people inadvertently without us meaning to, because maybe the way that they do things is different from ours, right? So we can't control everything. Accepting where we can't control everything is part of probably that theme, but also wanting to take control and initiate things the way that you want is also there. So, those are just things that you're working through throughout July. We, at the beginning of the month on the 5th, on July 5th, we have a new moon happening at 14 degrees of Cancer, and the area that's hitting for you is that area that has to do with communication. So this is a really good time to set intentions around anything that you wish to manifest, around how you're perceiving information, communicating your thoughts, feelings, how you're relating to people through communication. If there's ways that you feel like you could work on being more vulnerable, more empathetic, more sensitive, maybe being more confident about how you express yourself and your feelings. Those are good themes for you on the 5th of July to think about intentionally manifesting or working through. The other thing that we have happening at the beginning of the month is Neptune stationing retrograde on July 2nd. And so we've had a Neptune story for the last 14 years. Neptune was in Pisces, or entered Pisces in 2012. And Neptune is finishing up its cycle in Pisces. And so Neptune is stationing retrograde at 29 degrees. And the area of the chart that this is hitting for you is the area that has to do with your relationship to friendship circles and community. So think about over the last 14 years, your friendship groups, your community, who you've been associated with. And there's something about that that's shifting right now. What story have you been kind of in that is maybe shifting or diverting away into something new, something different? Maybe you don't know yet. Neptune can be a very confusing energy. It can be a time where we don't know what we're doing or where we're going or how things are going to sort themselves out. But we're in a process of experiencing it, feeling it, learning how to trust more of our intuition, our inner guidance and knowing. And so that could also be a big theme for you. Like, how do you trust your inner intuition when it comes to the people in your life and community and things like that? Let's see, where else are we going here? So we have Venus entering Leo on the 11th. And Venus will be moving into that area of home and family, which is really positive for you. So having Venus and Mercury and Leo in this area, it creates more resolution, more harmony. Back in June, Venus entered Leo, and then we had a big retrograde cycle of Venus and Leo over the summer last year. And so one of the things that you can look at is, where were you at June through September of last year? What were you working through in your family and your home life? There's going to be a repeat kind of thing of that story, but in a new way. And you're working through and processing some of those themes again. And, you know, if there's upgrades that you want to do to your home, if there's things that you want to do to your home that make things more aesthetically pleasing, if you want to move, if you're selling a home, buying a home, these are all actually really auspicious frequencies of energy to be doing that. So this is really positive for Taurus dominant people. The other shift of energy that we have after that is we're going to have on the 22nd, our sun moving into Leo and joining that party as well. So your home life is very much emphasized for July. Mars is going to be moving out of Gemini around that time too. So on the 22nd, the sun moves into Leo. And on the 21st, Mars moves into Gemini. And Mars in Gemini is going to be in the area of your chart that has to do with money. And so Mars, I'm not a huge fan of Mars in the second house because it creates kind of some turmoil and conflict around finances. However, Mars is also a really good energy for amping up energy around business. So if you do need to kind of strategize and make plans financially around work that you're doing and how to make money, strategize making more money, how to manage your money more efficiently, Mars here can help you do that, but it's still challenging. Mars here brings turbulence, but you know, a lot of times there can be unexpected costs that we weren't necessarily anticipating. Money's coming in and going just as fast as it's coming in when Mars is here. So Mars is going to be here for a while. It enters on the 21st. It's going to be here the rest of the month, and it's going to be here all of August during the Mercury retrograde. So finances are definitely something you need to be mindful of over the summer, and maybe you want to rein in some spending if you can. You might not have a choice. There might just be things that come up that require you to spend money that you weren't planning on spending. Just is what it is. Then on the 21st, that same day, actually, we have a full moon. So we're going to have a full moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And so at the beginning of Cancer season on June 21st, we had a full moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. And then now on July 21st, 1 month later, we're having a full moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And so the first full moon a month ago was a really good time for setting intentions in the sign of Capricorn. And the area that that was hitting for you is the area that has to do with your values and belief systems, your education, also travel, themes around higher education and learning. And then with this, it's now hitting in that same area, but this is a more releasing, letting go energy. So if there's things that you want to do, trips you want to take, if there's a certain dynamic or belief system that you're in that's shifting or evolving in some way, this is a powerful time to set intentions and tell the universe what you're no longer making space or room for around those themes. There's a big shift of energy kind of in terms of wrapping something up that started a month ago and kind of being ready to move on to the next thing, if that makes sense. On the 25th, 26th, Mercury is going to be entering the sign of Virgo. This is a positive energy for you in the sense that you're fixed Earth and Mercury is going to be in Virgo, which is mutable Earth, and Mercury is in domicile here. And even though Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde here, we're in the shadow period. Mercury does do really well in Virgo. And the area that it's hitting in the chart for Taurus is the area that has to do with creative self-expression. And, you know, we're in Leo season now. And so that's a big theme anyways. And you're going to be in a period where maybe you really need to do something that's artistic. Maybe you need to feel more confident expressing yourself. Maybe there's a way in which organizing your creative life and the art that you're doing, or the things that you do in, you know, I know a lot of Taurus people that are super creative people, whether it's writing or painting or drawing or music. You know, if you've been neglecting any of those things, this might be a time where you really need to lean into your creative energy. It's going to be really positive for you. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to leave you there. If you want a bigger breakdown on each individual transit for the month of July, I have a video at the top of this playlist that is the July astrology forecast. If you would like a more narrow, unique reading that's just you, you know, you can book a one-on-one reading with me by emailing me. My email will be in the bio of the video. I do one-on-one astrology and tarot readings for people. All right, Taurus, I wish you the best of luck. I think that this month is a little bit more auspicious for you than some of the other signs, but there's definitely some challenges. And yeah, if you like this, feel free to hit the like, subscribe button if you want to get notified on when I post these. I do them every month. You can find me at theladyofleisure.com and thesobercurator.com, and I will see you guys next month.